Welcome back. Sports and Discourse. I'm Donte Durham, along with Eric Sharkey. During today's show, college football is coming up, so we definitely want to talk about the best conference in college football. And if you don't mind, I'd like to start this one off. And before I even start, I have to put this out there. I'm a Big Ten fan. Actually, I'm not a Big Ten fan. I'm an Ohio State fan. And since they play in the Big Ten, obviously during bowl season, I have to root for the Big Ten. But I think when you look at the best conference in college football, and it's been proven throughout the past few years, and I think even going into this year, it will repeat itself, the SEC is top dog. Look at Florida, look at LSU, Alabama. These are teams that just reload. I haven't even mentioned Georgia. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the speed, when you look at the size, when you look at the strength down there, I think it's not even debatable the SEC top conference in college football.
And that's interesting because I would debate that. And, you said, the past couple years. So, okay, I took a more historical approach.
Okay.
Look, historically, what's the best conference? Because, there's ups and downs. Everybody can have their ups and downs. So I wanted to look at the big picture. And so we got a couple numbers, all right? A couple categories is what I took into consideration. Overall record, historically, top 25 teams in the top 25, teams in the top 50, number of national titles, and number of Heisman Trophy winners, along with location, finally. All right, so let's look at what the numbers say here. Start with national titles. We have, looking at the conferences, the Big Ten actually has 22 national titles versus the Big 12 would be next with 20 national titles. And then that would follow by SEC with 19 national titles. And I will say this, the Ivy League actually has 48 national titles. 32 of theirs were won between 1869 and 1900.
Which is why it's historical numbers, but anyway.
Right. No doubt. But so we got to give them props, right? Because Princeton was winning for a while. Princeton and Harvard were, doing a thing. There were only 3 teams, maybe,
but they was top dog every year.
Right. That's right. Exactly. Because since you mentioned it, I think the one year Princeton was 1-0.
We are the champions.
Right. Okay. Heisman Trophy winners. The Big Ten had 15 Heisman Trophy winners.
I am a Big Ten fan.
Big 12, 15 Heisman Trophy winners. Then that would be followed by, and this would be independents. They actually would be, Army, the
Notre Dame.
Right. The independents had 12 actually Heisman Trophy winners, and then we're going to take into the overall record. Yep. And this, I got some information here. This is the top 25 and top 50. So number of teams that they had with the overall record that were in the top 25 and number of teams that they had with the overall record in the top 50. So I kind of combined them together. But who came out on top of that one? We've got the SEC. With 14 teams, all right? We'll combine when we look at both numbers. So then followed by the Big 12, then the Big 10, then the ACC, Pac-10, and Big East. And then finally, location. And this was kind of a more personal opinion and not so many numbers or, things involved. And when I talk about location, I'm thinking the environment kind of nurtures an attitude about the team. Your team takes on a certain persona depending on, the location. The Big Ten's a little more rugged, supposedly, where maybe the SEC is supposed to be the speed conference. And, the Big 12 has the big corn-fed, the big husky guys with, Texas and the Nebraskas.
And the Pac-10 is more speed also out there.
With the West Coast, wide open type situation, carefree. So when I said location, those are things I was thinking about. And I said the Big Ten, I gave the heads up for location, number 1 spot. Yeah. Then the Big 12, then followed by the SEC. So, in my opinion, if I were choosing the best conference in college football, would have to be the Big Ten.
On the flip side, I'll just address something that you had mentioned about the location. I think that it would be a different story come bowl season if these games weren't always played in the prettiest or in the best environment imaginable. You know, it would be different if for a bowl game, instead of sending Ohio State down to LSU or down to wherever, if you would bring them up north during January and have them playing in some snow, it would be interesting to see how those games would turn out at that time. You know, but I'm going with the SEC. You're going with the Big Ten. Who are you going with? Sports and Discourse.